So it's February 20th. I'm heading up to the cabin, and here just as I'm getting ready to head out on the freeway, there's a bald eagle sitting there. He just flew in and sat on that tree, so there must be maybe some sort of kill or whatever around that he's interested in, but kind of a nice way to start the trip. It's a cold one today, but over the next few days it's supposed to warm up pretty significant. Oh, I see tons of birds. Oh, there's something laying down there that they're after. Maybe a deer was hit or something. I wonder if the road crew, when they pick up a carcass, has a spot where they drop them off now or something. Anyway, that's the start of this trip. So this area has just gorgeous white pines that were left here when the last loggers came through. So you get to see some of these larger, more majestic white pine. Starting to get a lot more frost heaves on the road. So spring won't be too far away. So you can see I got Ludo with on this trip, and Kira. Getting a fire going here inside the cabin. It's quite chilly in here. Shows about 5 or 6 degrees above zero inside the cabin, and actually outside is right around 4 degrees, so it's almost exactly the same inside here. Usually it's a little bit warmer, but we had some pretty cold weather the last couple days, so I suspect up here it was somewhere between 20 to 30 below zero probably. So the cabin's going to take a little bit of time to heat up. I've got the baseboard heaters in the other room running. The snow, where it hadn't been moved before, was up to your crotch. Ludo, being arthritic and that, had a little bit of trouble getting through, but he made her. Kira, on the other hand, she just plows through everything, being a puppy. So I'm going to leave Ludo in here for sure. And I might take Kira outside for a little bit, but I have to put her in the kennel outside so she doesn't wander off right now while I see about getting the snowblower started. And Well, I finished up most of the snow blowing, although I got a little bit left to do, but that's all I'm going to do with the snow blower today. The dogs have been in the cabin while I've been doing this, but we got all of this done. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get the four-wheeler started with the plow and kind of clean this up. But for now, got the truck in and got a little bit of shoveling to do around the outhouse and the back door and stuff, but we'll get that here while the dogs are out a little bit. You can see the dish soap, the cleaner, the Windex all still frozen at 3:30 after 4 hours. So like I say, it takes quite a while for everything to absorb the warmth, but by this evening it should be pretty pleasant in here. Get a pan of water on the stove so we can make sure we get some humidity in the cabin. I bought a new beer yesterday by Castle Danger out of Two Harbors, and it's called it's a white pine. It's an India Pale Ale, and it's Project White Pine, and supposedly what they do is all the proceeds from the sale of this white pine Project IPA is they will start getting new white pine seedlings to plant along the north shore of Lake Superior, try and regenerate some of the previous forests that were up in the area. So I had one last night. It was actually pretty tasty. I always check the garbage can and water bucket, the slop pail, because occasionally there will be a dead mouse in there. Somehow they crawl up and get in there, and then they can't get out. So Ludo's got his favorite spot. It's cold on the floor yet, so he likes being up on the couch, but in that back corner by the couch is one of the prime mouse catching spots. So that's where I left one of the traps. So let's go see what come out of there. So success on trap number 1. And we had success there as well. So 2 for 2 on the 2 traps I left set when I left here in January. Now normally I don't leave traps, but since it's cold, I knew that things wouldn't get gross and stinky like they would if you left them in the summer or that. So anyway, happy to snag a couple of these guys. Sometimes I get orders for knives when I'm up here, and then I just send an email to people and say, you know, I'm up at the cabin, and when I get back into town and that, I'll get their knives sent out to them. So it's kind of nice to be able to enjoy the place like this and still be able to do some business. Well, I'm hooking up the extension cord here from the outhouse receptacle. Unplug the heater in here, but we'll run this over to the shed, and I plug in a little charger on the four-wheeler, so we'll go take a look at that. So I have this battery charger hooked up permanent to the battery, and all I need to do then is plug in the little unit here, you see, and then run power to it. So I'm going to let this run for a little while, and then I'll get the air compressor and put some air in these front tires, and we'll see if we can get this fired up. It's been a while since I've had the four-wheeler running, so it'd be good to get it started. So I put the battery charger on for, I don't know, an hour or so, and just put some air in the tires, and it fired right up. Put a little seafoam in the gas just to make sure, you know, it gets cleaned out good when I run it a little bit. I was just sitting in the cabin a bit ago and heard the snow let loose on this side of the metal roof. It's gotten a lot warmer today, and the sun coming out and the heat from the inside, and all of a sudden a big whoosh, and there it let loose. Most of it stayed on the big pile, a little bit on the trail, so I'll shovel that out. But I don't think it's going to come off any of the other sides, but it sure does make a noise when she lets loose. I noticed this yesterday, and I thought I'd shoot it a little bit here this afternoon. Water had dripped down and kind of created a little ice shape here, which almost looks like the head of a loon's head here. Winter loon's head, ice head. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. So it says there's 22 inches of snow up on that roof. So I'm going to scrape off some of it, get some of the load off. Okay, that's the last of the roofs I'm going to shovel off. The other really deep spot is the back side of the cabin by the back porch and stuff, but I don't really want to go up there. That's the metal roof. Now you could try and keep some snow on top of it, but I guess I don't want to go up there alone just in case something happened. So anyway, I have to replace one shear pin, and I kind of suspected that might happen because the snow on the woodshed roof, up about 4 inches, was icy and that, and I figured, a chunk of that would probably take out a shear pin, but that's the first one on this trip, whereas last time I think I had 4 with that icy snow. So anyway, I'll get that replaced, and yeah, that's enough. Well, lots of dripping off the roof where the sun is hitting it. I wouldn't be surprised if this cuts loose too at some point. Well, it's Sunday morning. I'm heading back to town. Had a nice 3.5 days up here, the Living North cabin. Some really warm weather the last 3 days. Got some work done, got to visit with some friends, listen to some music, live music. Enjoyed time with the dogs. And now it's time to head back to town. I want to thank you for watching this video. And we'll look for you to come on board the next time we come up.